This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Friday, June 9th, 2023. I'm Gary Dick. Bruce Springsteen's album Born in the USA was the very first CD produced in North America, and it was Hoosiers at the Sony DADC plant in Terre Haute who manufactured that music history. But demand for discs plummeted, and leaders say they're now focused on, quote, turning the Titanic around in Terre Haute. Inside Indiana Business reporter Kylie Valletta has more.
The iconic facility has ridden the technology wave since it opened in 1983. At peak operation in 2008, the plant churned out 4 million discs daily. From CDs to DVDs to PlayStation games, Sony leaders say the plant was riding high for 25 years. But Sony DADC Senior Vice President Chad Boland says the plant hit its low in March of last year.
At that point, we decided, okay, we have to get very aggressive in kind of turning the Titanic around because, Sony has been kind of a closed entity for 40 years. I think the biggest challenge has been getting the word out that we're kind of open for business and we are looking for business.
The 1.3 million square foot facility is now looking for medical device and automotive manufacturing partners that could use the space, and Sony employees provide the labor. Kylie Valletta, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A California-based fashion apparel company is growing its footprint in Morgan County. Deckers Brands, which focuses on footwear brands including UGG and Teva, is occupying a more than 1 million square foot distribution center in the West Point Business Park there, in addition to the more than 500,000 square foot facility it currently operates. The University of Notre Dame announced Thursday that Director of Athletics Jack Swarbrick will step down in the first quarter of next year. His successor has already been named. NBC Sports Group Chairman Peter Bavacqua is set to take over as AD next year, but will begin preparing for that role next month. Bavacqua is a 1993 graduate of Notre Dame and has served as NBC Sports Group's third chairman since 2018. Before his 15-year run at Notre Dame, Swarbrick was a prominent attorney in Indianapolis who served as chairman of the Indiana Sports Corporation. He also helped convince the NCAA to relocate its headquarters to Indianapolis and the NFL to hold the Super Bowl in Indy in 2012. From the state's number one source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Get ready, West Central Indiana. We're headed your way. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the inaugural Engage West Central Indiana event presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. Tuesday, June 20th at Holman Center at Indiana State University. We'll be diving into talent, education, and other issues shaping the regional economy. More at ibj.com/engage. As Inside Indiana Business marks 25 years on television, we're looking back at progress made in the Indiana economy, including sectors like the life sciences, which have grown from around $32 billion to more than $80 billion during that time. Venture capital has grown exponentially, and Dr. Alan Palkowitz, the CEO of the Indiana Biosciences Research Institute, says developments like 16 Tech Innovation District in Indianapolis have changed a once listless industry.
Going back 20 years, none of us really imagined a 16 Tech environment and what it would be, what its purpose would be. But it wasn't clear that there was much interaction or even a lot of concept of creating a biotech corridor.
This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand.